overheated again. Just leaving Kamloops and going up the hill. We tried backwashing it to get all the gunk out of the radiator, and thought that might help. She seemed to be okay, but this helps narrow it down a bit more to being either the thermostat, the radiator cap, or the head gasket. Maybe the fan. It's frustrating. We're gonna wait like half an hour to let this cool down. That way we can maybe get a little bit further. But going to shoe swap, we broke down I think 4 or 5 times it overheated. So I don't know, we'll see.
Dad. What's wrong?
She's overheated again. I don't know how much further we can go with this overheating, and I'm getting very frustrated. We end up making it like 14 kilometers. I think this one we made it, what, 5? I got BCAA, so I'm gonna get it towed. I got 160 kilometers for free. We've got, what, 350 to go. So it's gonna cost me an extra $450. I need gas, so gas is what, $150, so that means $300 for a tow. Maybe we'll just get to Hope and try driving from there. That'll give it time to cool down. There's no real hills on the way, but I thought they had fixed all this, so I've got to call James and Angela and go, what the f*** are you guys doing? Like, seriously. My lights, it looks like my lights might be toasted now because of this. And that's another $350. And they're charging me, what, $3,000 for replacing the heater core? And nothing's working. I'm very frustrated right now. Seriously, I'm done. Like, I guess it's hard to predict things like this because it doesn't overheat till we get to the hills. But I had told them about it, and they did a pressure test. So this means we backwash the radiator, so washing it through the back, to get any dust and bugs and stuff out of the radiator. So it's either the cap or the thermostat or a gasket, maybe the fan. I don't think so. So I think most likely, from talking to people, from Alan and a few other people, it might be the thermostat. So we might end up having to change the thermostat, and I'm going to have them check that out when it goes back in this week. Actually, this week's too busy. I'll take it in next week. But yeah, we got to figure this out. I got to be able to travel in this thing, and if I can't travel up a hill, what good is it? Seriously. Very frustrating. Anyway, there's my rant. Now we just have to wait for a tow truck. Oh, and I don't know how long that's going to be. We're stuck between Kamloops and Merritt. We're beside, what, Timber Lake? Which looks pretty gross. I wouldn't want to swim in that thing. Probably come out itching. So much crap around it. Anyway, gotta wait for the tow truck. We have been waiting for about an hour now, so we got about 2 more hours. We decided we would try to go up the road to find some shade. We didn't get very far, but at least we found an area. We weren't partially on the road. We're fully off the road. but not much. So we're still waiting for the tow truck. He said about 3 hours. By then, we're gonna sweat to next to nothing. Oh, that's a good diet. We'll sweat off everything. This guy's not moving over at all. Wow. Most people are good. They move over. Then you get a few of those holes like that don't move over. Anyway. Yeah, so we're gonna maybe get towed to Hope, maybe get towed to home. I don't know. I'm thinking right now maybe I just tow it home. It's fine in the hills, it's fine when it cools down, but if it breaks down again, then I gotta call a tow truck again. So I might end up spending $500-600 for towing now. I don't know. I'll ask him when he arrives. We'll find out. Not the way I was planning on ending this little vacation. But hey, maybe we'll be skinnier. We've been waiting 3 hours. I just started the truck up. I'm watching the temperature gauge. I just had the AC cranked for a bit. We're absolutely roasting. I just called BCAA. I've seen 3 flatbeds go by me. 2 of them are BCAA for tow trucks. And I'm told it might be a couple more hours. I'm like, lady, we're roasting on the side of a busy freeway. Well, I'll see what we can do. 5 hours for a tow is what it looks like it's going to be, and that's absolutely nuts. It's not acceptable when you pay to have BCAA. I just don't get it. We had some water in the freezer, or the fridge. Pulled that out, so we got water now. I had some food, so we've had a couple bars and stuff, so that's good. So now it's just to beat the heat for another few hours. This is nuts, absolutely nuts. I don't get it. I just moved the truck. We were roasting out there, and I had an argument with BCAA because he's telling us it's another 5 hours. We've already been here almost 6 hours, just 15 minutes short of 6 hours. And to be told it will be another 5 hours is absolutely ridiculous. We are roasting. We've drank all our water. We've eaten all our foods, rations that we had. I didn't bring much with us. And yeah, so I found an overpass, which we're under right now. I called them back, explained things to the lady, said, we were just told 5 hours. Originally, we were told 3 hours. I called, they told me another half hour. We're going on 6 hours. So she called them personally, the tow truck company, because the dispatch actually hung up on me. Because I said, we're cooking death. He's like, then call 911. It's like, really? So she called. She said, they're dealing with a tire change right now. It might be sooner, but she's like, you're looking at maybe maximum an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes. So if it's an hour and 15 minutes, that means we'll have been stranded here for 7 hours. To me, that's not acceptable. Not when you're paying a membership for towing. That's absolutely unacceptable. 3 hours was too long, but 7 hours. I've been inching my way as we've been going. I could probably, if it were 5 hours, it'd be dark. I would try driving because it'd be a lot cooler and I'd probably do a lot better. But yeah. So we're going to wait another an hour and 15 minutes and see what happens.
we actually went one side.
I think the warranty on them was like 10,000. Down to the dealership again to figure out what the issue is. It's either going to be the head gasket, the radiator cap, or the thermostat. So I've got no heat, so they're going to look at it. Had a few conversations with them. Doesn't look like them changing out the heater core was the issue with the thermostat, but they didn't run it long enough, I guess. But I think it's under pressure or going uphill or whatever. So I don't think it's the gasket because I didn't see any water in the oil. But we're gonna find out, I guess. So I'm dropping the truck off again, and hopefully we'll have it back. We had a car show this weekend. I don't think we will be in it. We're also supposed to be at the BC Overland rally, but this year it's under new management, so they're still trying to figure everything out on their end, and I think they made a lot of mistakes this year, couple actually, but they're learning, so hopefully they'll figure it all out and it'll be all good after the first year. Trial basis. I mean, first year, you tend to mess up. So we are off, and I have no air conditioning either. I'm gonna try that one out. So I dropped the truck off yesterday, had a good talk with James, and went over all the issues. They're going to check it out today. Still sitting in the exact same spot. I mean, there's not much they can do at 5 o'clock last night when I dropped it off. So hopefully it's not the gasket, and hopefully it's just the temperature, thermostat, sorry. But we will find out after they do some tests today. I showed them a few little issues that happened when they were replacing it. The problem is when you're replacing something that's got so many little extras and stuff like that, it doesn't always go back exactly the way it was. And I've always had to fix stuff because when you're replacing the heater core, the whole dash comes out. So the one, I mean, there's quite a few little items, so hopefully he can figure those out. One was just a minor. They hooked it up, but not the way I hooked it up, which is the Starlink button. So when you switch this off, there's no lights on, because, yeah, just the way I had it switched. So anyway, that's easy enough for me to do. But yeah, we'll find out. I don't think they've done anything to the truck yet. But let me just check. Nope, nothing yet. So I'll have to find out what's going on there. Now we just wait for the offices to open. Going to get the truck. So being in the truck feels good, actually. I've only been in it for 2 minutes. So I've got the truck back. Gonna do a bunch of running around today, pretty much test it out, make sure everything's working. I had an issue with the Starlink that they hooked it up wrong, so they fixed it, but now I have no power. So I'm gonna have to take it apart and figure out what's been done. So far, I mean, I had to reset the radio because I guess when they took out everything, they just didn't connect the battery. So, which makes sense, but these things only have like memories for so long with the battery life of the radio and stuff. So I've had to reset a lot of stuff. Heat works, which is nice. Temperature seems to be in control. They washed the truck. I was so happy with that. Last time they didn't, and maybe because it was a rush. But they did a lot of work on the truck, and I've still got issues with why it happened. And according to the information, the invoice, the reservoir would overflow, which was causing the heater core to have issues, which in the end caused the overheating of the truck. So my confusion is, whose fault is that? The heater core has been replaced, I don't know, a handful of times now, and maybe this will be actually the fix for it. They did say that it might be because of the overheating, but I have an inline filter that I'll have to clean every month. It's a small one, but they said that I'll have to clean that because there's a lot of debris that's getting in there, and that could have been from the overheating as well, I'm thinking. But I'm no expert, but I gotta clean that out every month. That's easy enough for me to do. I might lose a bit of fluid. I'll just pinch the ends, take it apart, clean it out, put it back together. I do have a second one in the back, so I mean, can I always swap them out? Sure. But I always like to have a backup. So today is testing the truck. I don't really have many hills to take it, but I'm going to be running for probably a couple hours, doing a bunch of running around and stuff before we head out on our vacation. Those videos you will see in January. That's generally when I'll do our vacation ones. So I've got to pick up Tasha at home and then take her over to a friend of ours' place. And you'll see that in that video. But yeah, let's get testing this truck, see how it works. Feels so good after a month of not being in the truck. It feels so good to actually be in it again, but I'm forgetting what does what. Because I'm so used to driving my work car that I'm used to, you know, shifting in the middle. I'm used to wipers on the opposite side. I'm used to, you know, and I'm just kind of fumbling right now. So, but it sure feels good. And it's funny because whenever I drive the truck, the amount of honks and stares and points and, you know, people that pull up and ask questions I get, I've had quite a bit of that today already. I dropped Caden off at school and all the kids were like, it was funny. And I got to pick him up from school too. So let's get to testing this thing out, see how it works today. Hopefully it's all going to be fine. I put gas in it. They gave it back to me empty. I know it wasn't empty when I gave it to them, but that's fine. Hopefully they did some tests on it, and there's only 10 kilometers that were put on it, even though they show 0 on the invoice. But I keep a log of all my miles for business work, business sake. Everything gets put into here. So like you can see our trips, you can see, you know, all the miles. This was one of our trips, you can see. So you can tell different days where we were. I should have put where we were. That's not a trip. Hope, Langley, shoe swap. So yeah, I kind of put stuff in here. But yeah, and I also put when the heater core was replaced. So it kind of keeps track of everything as well. But anyway, talk to you in a bit. I just forgot to film it. But anyway, this was not working after I got back from the dealership. They actually got the wires backwards and it blew the fuse. So basically, what's supposed to happen is that. So now I got it hooked up properly for the Starlink. But yeah, they had it hooked up backwards, which blew the fuse. I could see the wires were charred. And now it is working. So now we can hook the Starlink back up.